Hello there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories. Firstly, Eritrea denied pressurizing Ethiopia and Somalia. Eritrean Minister of Information and Eritrean Embassy in London responded to a BBC Somali story. Did a video on that last night. What is Yamane Gebremeskel saying? Who is this man? Abdul Qadir Idris. And what is Eritrean official policy, by the way, about Ankara declaration? Secondly, viewers, Tigray, uh, I did a video on the situation in Aksum a few months ago. Some female students, their parents contacted me, did a video on that. The video on the issue of hijab at schools in Aksum. I have an update for you. Tomorrow is the last day for filling out forms for university entrance exam in Tigray. Let's start, viewers, from Eritrea. Yesterday, BBC Somali published an article. Did a video on that. BBC Somali quoted Abdul Qadir Idris. The news source said that Abdul Qadir Idris was working as an advisor to the Eritrean Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Abdul Qadir raised questions about Ankara declaration. He said Eritrea could reconsider relations with Somalia if Somalia gives military access to sea to Ethiopia. And Abdul Qadir further said that Ethiopia wants basically military access to sea. Response has come. BBC Somali made a correction today. BBC Somali, in its correction, said today that the story didn't meet its editorial standards. Yamane Gebremeskel led Eritrean Ministry of Information called the story a hoax. And Eritrean Embassy in London said that it did not know who Abdul Qadir Idris was. He had no affiliation, no portfolio held at the Eritrean Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So correction has come and we're updating. Now question here is, what is Eritrean government's policy about Ankara declaration? Today, Hassan Sheikh returned from Eritrea, Somalia's president. And we saw a statement issued by the Ministry of Information of Eritrea. Did Eritrean government today back Ankara declaration? In the statement, no. There is no mention of Ankara declaration in today's statement by the Eritrean Ministry of Information. So it's clear that the Eritrean government, Egyptian government, they are not happy with Ankara declaration. And I think even a layman can say that both Eritrea and Egypt, they will oppose the deployment of Ethiopian military on Somalia's coast. It's not difficult to guess, by the way. And yes, they'll pressurize Somalia. Why? Because they are the ones who are supporting Somalia. They are the ones who raised their voices in support of Somalia when Somalia was being threatened by Ethiopia. It seemed as if Ethiopia would gain access to sea through Somaliland by force. In that difficult time, Eritrea and Egypt stood with Somalia. Definitely, they won't allow Somalia to make decisions unilaterally. If Somalia does that, the two countries will definitely cut off ties with Somalia. I mean, it's logical. What Abdul Qadir said is very logical. But Eritrean government does not make its foreign policy public. Generally, Eritrean government takes its time to respond to the developments in the region. And then suddenly Sas Afwerki appears with his state backed journalists at a state owned television channel, and then he lectures for hours about the security situation in the Horn of Africa, in East Africa, in entire world. So for me, what Abdul Qadir said is not surprising. This is what Eritrean government will do, but it will not admit that. Same will be done by Egypt too. It won't accept the military presence of Ethiopia on Somalia's coast. Problem is, how will Somalia handle the pressure? Can Hassan Sheikh somehow handle the pressure? Can he balance the relations between his allies and Ethiopia? That remains to be seen. So I have shared the correction with you, shared by BBC Somali, but I personally think that this is what Eritrea wants. This is what Egypt wants. They don't want Ethiopia to gain access to sea militarily. Military access to sea for Ethiopia through Somalia will definitely be opposed by Eritrea. Secondly, we got an alarming news story from Tigray, where it seems that Muslim students, female students, are in trouble. Hijab is an issue faced by Muslims across the world. Even in Western countries, too, sometimes they have to fight for the right to wear hijab. In Tigray, dissent is not allowed. Anyone who opposes the government, who goes against the instructions of the government, are bound to be punished. Same is happening with the female students of Tigray. In a video a few months ago, I told you about the plight of female students who had been suspended from some schools in Aksum city. Why? Because they were not being allowed to wear hijab. I'm talking about hijab, not niqab. School did not allow the girls to cover their hair. And if you don't cover your hair, Muslim scholars say that hijab is not complete. That is how they interpret hijab. Different Muslim schools of thought have different interpretations of hijab and niqab. Now, for several months, the female students have been suspended from schools. Talks were held between parents and government officials, school authorities. Issue could not be solved. Tomorrow is the last day for filling out forms to appear in university entrance exam. And the female students are still suspended. None of the students has filled out the forms so far to appear in the university entrance exam. If TPLF Tigray leaders are busy fighting for power, perhaps this issue is not important for them. The careers of female students are in danger. It does not matter for them. If people die youths dying, youths migrate, illegally migrate, risk their lives. They are drowning in sea to reach Middle East, reach Europe. No problem for Tigray leadership. They want to just control Tigray while the youths, female, male, are in danger, their careers in danger. What's wrong with allowing female students to cover their heads, to cover their hair? I mean, such petty issues should not be a source of dispute. People should learn how to accept others, others who are not from your religion, who are not from your ethnicity, who are not from your sex, who are not from your nationality. But it seems that the Tigray government is not showing any interest in solving this issue. Muslims of Aksum in trouble. Thanks for watching.